Hello guys, you're watching a video by Kruti. I'll be talking about recursive functions in this video. Let us first see what are recursive functions. Any function which calls itself is said to be a recursive function. So assume that you have a function where a calls itself. This function is merely of any use to us. Now let us see what is the basic intuition behind recursive functions. The basic intuition is that every time you call a function, you need to reduce your problem size. Eventually, you keep reducing your problem size and then accumulate your results so that you can find the final process result of your problem. Now, this function is of not any use to us. Assume that your initial problem size was n. Next time you call n, your problem size could be reduced by 1. It could be reduced to half, or it could be reduced to 1/3. Now you see a problem coming, right? When you keep calling a number of times with the input being reduced each time, it would finally result in such a case that input is exhausted. So you need something called as base condition to come out of such recursion. So suppose if you say if n equals 0, you would like to say return. This is something called as base condition. This is used to come out of your normal recursion. Now let us walk through a simple example. The problem statement is that you need to find the sum of first n numbers. This could be computed either using iterative style of programming or recursive style of programming. There are two things which you need to note in iterative style of programming. The name of the function is sum I stands for iterative and takes the parameter n to compute the sum of first n numbers. We have defined a local variable sum and we traverse through every element from 1 to n and compute the sum in iterative manner. And we also should note that the entire computation of sum occurs in a single stack frame. But in case of recursive function, the entire computation does not happen in a single stack frame. You need to note that there is a base case. When n is equal to 0, the recursion stops. Otherwise, we return the sum of n and remaining n minus 1 numbers sum. So we see here that the problem is getting defined in itself. We need to find the sum of first n numbers. We compute the result by adding n to the sum of remaining n minus 1 numbers. This is how we define the problems recursively. Now let us discuss about advantages and disadvantages. Since I already told you that the entire result is not computed in a single stack frame for recursive functions, the allocation of memory and deallocation of memory takes a lot of time. Hence, iterative functions are faster. However, recursive functions are easy to code and they look compact. I would also like to discuss one case of recursion where you have a function, say a calls a. This function in your program would result in segmentation fault. You see here that a keeps calling itself. Eventually, the maximum recursion depth is reached and the program returns with segmentation fault. It is always wise to use a base case and also reduce the problem size according to the problem statement requirements. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.